This presentation is brought to you by diabetes.
Good morning. I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes. Actually, about diabetes and diabetes. Diabetes.
Thank you, Wilford. Diabetes.
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 Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
So, you got diabetes. Diabetes.
So let's talk about diabetes, type 2 diabetes and type 1. This is what your doctor won't really tell you. Endocrinologists probably won't tell you this stuff because they don't even know themselves, even though it's in all the medical literature. This is insulin resistance and this is insulin dependent diabetes. All right, so this meaning that your beta cells, your etc. don't produce enough insulin, and if you don't take insulin, you die. Right, so type 1 diabetic, you can watch my interviews on those eye interviews, and you can sort of talk a little more about type 1 diabetes. Today I'm going to talk about type 2 diabetes. My protocol works for both. Type 1 isn't curable, it's for life, okay? Type 2 though, it is. You can cure that, you can reverse it. Type 2 is insulin resistance. So this means, what is insulin resistance? We have the cell here, C for cell, and then we have sugar, which is glucose, fructose, sucrose, etc. It's called S. And then we also have fat, all right? And we have insulin, all right? I, sugar. So insulin is like the key to push sugar, because all the cells run on sugar. Your T cells, your immune system, your phagocytes, everything runs on sugar. Red blood cells, white blood cells. Your immune system runs on sugar. Brain, your bowels, everything runs on sugar. So when we have fat, like dietary fat, it goes in the cell as well, and it's also outside, and it blocks. It becomes this like little barrier, so the sugar can't go into the cell. All right. So then the body's like, hang on, damn, we haven't pushed enough. We haven't made enough insulin because the blood sugar keeps going up. When the blood sugar goes up, the body goes, more insulin, please, more insulin, please. Same with type 1 diabetics. If you have a lot of insulin, if your blood sugars are going right up, you need more insulin, more units of insulin, more IU. And so then, what's the solution? More insulin, plus, which is going to give us weight gain, because we know insulin is very anabolic and it causes a lot of inflammation in the body. Or what do? Or do we decrease the fat in the diet? That's it. We're going to decrease the fat, and all of a sudden, this little barrier here doesn't exist. Instead of sugar going up, sugar's going in, and then sugar levels drop down. So then the body's got all the sugar in here, and it can do its job. Right? It's not circulating around, causing issues with the insulin. So fat is the issue. Dietary fat is always the issue. This is why every single person on a keto diet is IR. They're insulin resistant. They're insulin resistant diabetic. And if you get to them to do an oral glucose tolerance test, they will fail. Sad face. Eric Berg, Thomas DeLaya, Peter Attia, all these people, if they're doing what they're saying, if they're doing keto, they're doing a high-fat diet, they all have insulin resistance. Timothy Noakes, he's type 2 diabetic from his keto diet, because they all have glucose, malabsorption because their fat intake is so high. So the fat is blocking, it becomes this big shield, it shields the cell in here, this like a big fat shield. Dietary fat, and just shields the cell from the sugar going in, and so you need more and more insulin, to go up, insulin going up. All right, so that's the solution. You just cut the fat, and this is what you want. This is the happy face. This is the lean. This is why I'm like single-digit body fat, SD, single-digit body fat year round. YR. This is me, because my fat intake is very, very low. If we look at fruit, sweet fruit, not avocados or durian, but sweet fruit, this is very, very low fat, maybe 1 gram of fat per 100 grams or less. We have white sugar, this is zero fat. a kilo of sugar is 0 fat. You can see the veins in my arms, the vascularity, very low body fat. And then we have things like this. This is why a lot of people are fat, vegans, etc. are fat, vegetarians, because they eat so much fat. Look at this. All right, let's put this as an example here, and we can just sort of put it here and then zoom it in. You sort of see the fat content per 100 grams. There's a massive 8 grams of fat per 100 grams. 8 grams of fat, So if you're, so per tin, we've got 14 serves, they say, times 2, so we're about 30 grams of fat per tin, which is easy to knock back a tin. So that's 30 grams of fat. That's about 3 times more fat per day than the average adult really should eat, if they're serious about maximizing insulin sensitivity. So insulin sensitivity, IS, that is when you have your cell and the sugar can just go in, because there's no fat coating. We lose insulin sensitivity, and now we are insulin resistant. So to increase your insulin resistance, plus the fat, eat more fat, dietary fat. IR equals dietary fat. If you want insulin sensitivity, less units of insulin if you're type 1, then we want to have low fat, under 10 grams a day. And now to burn the fat, cardio really good. Cardio like cycling, riding your bike, playing with your kids, sex, dancing, gardening, etc. That will help decrease the blood fats that are circulating from your fatty meal you just had. So try that out. If you're diabetic type 1, eat under 10 grams a day and watch your blood sugars just drop right down, your insulin sensitivity go up, and your hemoglobin A1C will go down. And if you want to speed up those results, do some cardio, go out today, have some sugar in your drink bottle and just go out and get stuff done. But if you're type 1 diabetic, always monitor your blood sugars so you don't get too low. Often the type 1s I deal with is their blood sugar can go too low because they're still using too much insulin. But again, type 1 diabetics are fantastic to work with because they monitor their sugars so well. And they're the ones who notice on the first day of my protocol how much better they feel and how much less insulin they need. So this is stuff that endocrinologists don't really know, but they should know because this is medical science. This is in all the literature, all right? This is in all the literature. This is all the studies that create insulin resistance. They have to eat a lot of fat, right? So keto diet, basically, high fat diet, over 30, 40, 80 grams of fat a day will start to give you insulin resistance, especially if it's sedentary, all right? So try it out. Do the experiment yourself. Have as much sugar, much sweet fruit as you want, and cut your fats. See you later. Cut them all out. Coconut, oil, beef, lard, butter, all these things. The plant fats are better because they don't have all the metabolic waste products and hormones. But still, when we're talking insulin resistance, too much fat is too much fat. And over 10 grams a day, you're generally going to start feeling insulin resistance. But again, if that's all you're used to, you don't know any different because you're like, well, this is how it's like. Once you have good quality fruit, you're like, wow, that's really good. I can't go back to the crappy stuff, right? So this is a good nectarine. We got lucky here. But until you've had good nectarines, the sour nectarines, like, oh yeah, this is just a nectarine. So it's just like, it's like a whiteboard. If you're using a permanent marker and all of a sudden someone goes, look at this. You're like, oh my God, how does that work? That's crazy. I always thought Texas was permanent. All right, this is a whiteboard marker. So my protocol, Durianrider protocol, Durianrider.com, is basically like a whiteboard marker for diabetes, for insulin resistance. It just all magically wipes it away. All right, keto, all these keto people out there damaging their body with so that's not even buffing off. That's how strong the word keto is at making people diabetic. Look at that, won't even clean off. So that's the deal. Peter Attia, Tim Noakes, Thomas DeLaya, Dr. Atkins, the obesity guy, they're all causing diabetes. And that's why people don't debate me, because I'm like, what's your latest glucose or old glucose tolerance score? And they're like, no comment. No comment. Crazy. This is why I'm so lean. I don't have to starve. Smashing the white sugars, things like that. These things as well. These are pretty fatty. All right. So again, if you're looking to gain weight, eat more fat, eat more protein. The more protein you eat, the more weight you gain, and the more fat you eat, the more insulin you have, which will also cause weight gain. So yeah, but if you want to lose weight, like most people, focus on eating as much sweet fruit as you want. Focus on eating as much sugar as you want. This is 0 fat, and it just enters the cell so well. So things like that, definitely. But again, judge by results, not by theory.